Hi, I'm Willie. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. If this is your first time here, please go click subscribe. If you're a return viewer, subscriber, thank you very much. I do appreciate each and every one of you. What we're going to talk about in this video is building our own custom UniFi controller. And the controller I'm building is for a customer. They're going to have it on site in an MDU, so multi-dwelling unit installation. They're going to have several hundred access points. So we're going to have this controller on site ourselves, and we are going to use the Protectli 6P. But this is not just any Protectli 6P. This one has the following specs. It has an Intel i5 7200U with its dual core running at 3.1 gigahertz per core. It's got 8 gigs of RAM. It's got, and that's DDR4. And what was in here was a 64 gig SSD, and they did not have an affiliate code that we could use for this to save the customer some money. But what they did do was they upgraded the 64 gig SSD to the 128 gig SSD at no charge. So what we're going to do is we're going to load Ubuntu 18.04 on here. And we are going to load UniFi, and then I'm going to get it configured. You're going to watch that, and then I'm going to ship it to the customer and put it on site. So if you are going to follow along, you can use any Intel-based appliance. Doesn't have to be Protectli, but Protectli, we are finding these boxes are more affordable than Nooks. They are coming out with extended warranties for these, so they're going to be able to be covered for 3 years instead of just a year. So watch for that. But they're fanless, and they're one giant heat sink, and you saw how stinking tough these were when I stood on top of them. So we're starting to use Protectli for a lot of other things. And the other thing that you are going to need to follow along with this is you're going to need a USB key or some way to load Ubuntu 18.04. So we're going to go over all that. Let's get over to the computer and check it out. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to hop over to Ubuntu.com, and we are going to download, and we want the server, but we don't want 20.04, we want 18.04. So we are going to need an alternate download. And I always get confused. on this. Here we go. Past releases and other flavors. Ubuntu 18.04.4. So we're going to click on that. And then here's our server install image. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to download and save this. All right, so the next thing that you're also going to want to do is you're going to want to download Balena Etcher. And what this is going to do is this is going to flash our USB drive with the Ubuntu server ISO so that we can install it on our Protectli. So I've already got this downloaded. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert my USB flash drive, and we're going to fire up Balena Etcher real quick. All right, so here is Etcher all fired up, and you can see here that it recognizes my SanDisk device. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it I want to flash from file, and then I'm going to select that server ISO. All right, so I've selected my server ISO here. It's 912 megs. I've got 2 gigs free on this. I'm going to go ahead and click flash. You may get a UAC prompt on that, but you'll have to click yes on that. And now you can see that Etcher is starting. So we're going to let Etcher finish. We're going to let it flash this drive, and then we will be back. Oh, looks like I got some sort of an error here. I'm going to hit retry and try that again. And we'll get this flashed. If you have problems, let me know. All right, so I actually swapped out my my flash drive. Let's see if this makes a difference. UAC prompt comes up and says yes, and there we go, flashing. So there must either be something wrong with my other USB flash drive, or it is too small. So you can see that this flash is going to go pretty quickly. It says it's got about 1 minute and 30 seconds left. All right, our flash is done, and now it's verifying. So I'm actually going to start hooking up the Protectli device. I'm going to plug it in, and we're actually going to do a screen capture on this thing. So I'll be back. All right, so what I've got is I've got this Game Capture HD60 that I've got the Protectli device plugged into. I've got a keyboard plugged in, an Ethernet cable, the USB drive. So we're going to go ahead and power it on, and we're going to see if we can get this thing to come up on the screen here. And then we will actually, there it is. We will go ahead and we are going to walk through installing Ubuntu here. So let's see what happens. Ooh, I like this. So it is reading off of the USB. Right now you can see it's Ubuntu 18.04.4 LTS Bionic Beaver. And it is running some jobs. This is going to be a pretty boring installation. However, Protectli came with no operating system on it, right? So this booted to the USB because there was no OS installed. So we didn't have to select any of that stuff, but we are going to walk through this. So we are going to install in English. And we are, I just downloaded this, so it should be up to date. So we're going to continue without updating. And our keyboard layout and variant is going to be English US. So we are done with that. And it automatically, let's go back real quick so you can see what happened there. So it sees all of the Ethernet, all 6 of those in the Protectli box. And you can see there it's offering for us to create a bond. So I've got it plugged into what is traditionally the WAN port, and it's receiving a DHCP from my network. So that is good for now. So we're just going to click Done. And we don't use a proxy, so we'll be done there. And we're going to let it just use the standard Ubuntu archive. We're going to use the entire disk here. And you can see that that's 128 gig SSD. And everything looks good here. We're just going to let the auto partition, which has spoiled all of us, by the way. We're just going to let it do its thing. So we're just going to hit Done here. And are you sure you want to continue? Yes, we are going to continue. Now it's going to ask for my name. So I'm going to put my name in here. And this is going to be UniFi. And actually, this is going to a client, so we're going to do admin. Oh, so they've reserved that now here, so let's go back to that. Let's see. So we'll just do my standard, and then I'll add a user later. And we're going to go down to Done. And we want to install the Open SSH server because we need to SSH into this. For now, we're going to do username and password based authentication. We're not going to import any keys at this time. So we're going to go down to Done here. And we are not going to install any of these other things. So we're just going to go to Done. And these are server snaps. And if you're not familiar with snaps, you can go out to the Ubuntu site and look at what snaps are. So now this install is just going to run through here and finish. All right, we're removing the installation medium and we're hitting enter. So the box is now rebooting. There we go. There's our BIOS screen. And we should get, yes, the Ubuntu loading here. So it's starting SSH. And now we have a UniFi login prompt. So what we're going to do is we're going to log in here real quick. And we are going to get the IP address. which is 172.16.1.26. That's good. Now we are going to actually SSH in. So let me get this all cleaned up and I'll be right back. All right, so here we are. We also have a KB article from Ubiquiti pulled up on how to install and update via apt on Debian or Ubuntu. So that's going to be the easiest way on Ubuntu 18.04 to get us up and going. So we're going to do an SSH Howe at 172.16.1.26, and we're going to accept that. We're going to put in our super secret password there. And what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down and we're going to go through this step by step. And anytime you're on the Ubiquiti help pages and you see this text that's in a gray box, you can copy it. And then you can come in here and you can paste it and hit enter. And then put in your password. And now we're going to grab the prerequisite software that needed. Now we're going to add the source to the list here. We're going to copy this, paste it in. It says it did it. So now what we've got to do is we've got to add the GPG keys, right? So method A is selected. So it says for Ubuntu 18.04, run the following commands before installing UniFi in step 4. So we need to copy all of these things. And this is going to install MongoDB because we need Mongo. So we're going to do that. So we did this step. And now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this next step here. So you could do method A or method B. And then it says right here, on some distributions, it's possible an incompatible Java release can be installed during the step. We highly recommend running the following step before proceeding with step 4, sudo apt mark hold. So we're going to do this because we don't want to install the wrong version of Java, because if the wrong version of Java gets installed, it will screw up your UniFi controller. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click the copy here. We're going to paste this in. It's going to go out. It's going to look for all of the things that it needs, all of the dependencies, and it is going to install everything we need. So you see there's Java 8, there's Mongo. Here are all the things installing right now on this UniFi controller. There's some other things too. It says if your distro does not come with MongoDB, but I just saw MongoDB being installed here on Ubuntu, then they tell you where to go to install MongoDB. There were some licensing things with Mongo and also with Java. But it looks like everything is being installed here properly. So we are super close to having a complete working system here. So we're going to just let it do its thing, and we'll be back as soon as this install is done. Oh, it's done. I didn't even get a chance to pause it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a sudo service UniFi start to make sure it started. We'll do a PSAX. It'll show us if UniFi is running down there. So we're going to try to bring it up in the web browser real quick. All right, so I opened a new tab and I typed in https://172.16.1.26:8443 because that is the default web UI port, and we got a screen that we expect because we're accessing it via an IP address and not via a fully qualified domain name with an actual CA cert. So what I'm going to do is I am going to now configure this for the customer, and so let's walk through this. Let's see. We're going to call this the building. And we are going to accept this. And if we had a backup for this controller, we could restore it right here, but we don't. I am not going to join this to my Ubiquiti controller, to my Ubiquiti account. That is something that the customer will need to do once they get it on site. So I'm going to switch this to advanced, and I'm going to uncheck these two boxes. So I'm going to create a local admin account, and we're going to throw that over at my email address. Now once this gets on site, the customer will bind it to their Ubiquiti account. We are not going to auto optimize, but we are going to enable auto backup. We've got no devices right now. We've also got no Wi-Fi yet. I don't have the information for this, so I'm going to skip that. So the controller name is the building, admin. It automatically selected the time zone. I'm going to click finish. So it is going to configure this, and we are now security and analytics. We're going to say don't send. We are now on the latest build of the controller that is available via the repo, which is 5.13.32. So there it is. It was that easy to roll our own on-site Ubuntu-based UniFi controller. All right, that's it for this video. So I hope you learned how to load your own UniFi controller. And if you've got any questions, as always, you can put those down in the comments. You know, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please comment and share. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. If you need IT consulting, go to williehowe.com, fill out that contact form, and someone will be in touch with you as soon as possible. If you'd like to support the channel, all of our affiliate links are down below. They don't change your price, but they do kick a couple bucks to the channel to keep some money and gear rolling in. So once again, I want to thank you for being here. I'm Willie, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.